Hi students, very good evening. Good evening to all of you. Welcome everyone, welcome. I hope you're all doing fine at your end. All is good. So today we will start with the normal first day lecture, the introductory lecture about quality insurance. So basically we will discuss a little bit about history, what is the main difference between quality insurance and quality control, and yeah. So we go between these topics today. So I think most of you have joined now, so we can start. So in this introductory part of quality insurance, quality control, today we will be discussing about basically your history, introduction, the concept, function, scope, difference between QA and QC, quality relations, and hence at then references. Yeah. So I will be teaching you a mixed lectures. We will be also going through some of the lectures from regulatory affairs. Yeah, because quality assurance and regulatory affairs, they are both actually combination of both together. So I try to make these courses together, and we will go together in them. Yeah. So first thing first. So if we see the history of quality evolution from 1930 till 2010, so initially the main work was done over the sampling, yeah, quality sampling and statistical analysis. So they were mainly the basic statistical analysis were taken care in the 1950s, and then quality insurance and total quality control starts to come from 1970s. People start to become aware that no, when some process is being done, when some production is being done, there should be during the process quality control should be there, and when you are checking some control, that you have to be sure that the control is done rightly. So that is quality insurance. Basically, let's say for example, in the layman language, very layman language, there's a subway, right? In the subway, so initially to make your sandwiches, there's a proper quality control has been taken care, that everything hygiene, the cutting of vegetables, the baking of breads, making of your, all the internal ingredients. So everything has been checked. So that is your quality control. But quality ensures that whatever you are doing things at the end, whatever the product is being produced, that we are assured the quality that is being produced is right. There is no chance there is any any mistakes or any malfunction is there which might be problem for the later. So all these things are being taken care under the quality insurance. So beyond that, after the 1970s, then comes your quality management, then comes quality everywhere and excellence. So it's keep rising up and up, new things coming up with the time, and hence our quality evolutions keep growing up. So according to the pharmaceutical regulations and good manufacturing practices, requirements were created and placed in response to tragic circumstances and to prevent future tragedies. So we learn from our mistakes actually. So whatever some let's say somebody produce some medicine in the market, but it has a really very serious effects on the pregnant ladies. So babies started to born with lot of diseases, yeah, malfunctioning of organs. But drug industry want to bring their products in the market for the main reason for the um, profit. Main is the profit is thing. So that's why this quality evolution, that's why it came, so that we should not have any tragedies on a large scale from them. So that's why these regulations, good manufacturing practices are required to bring these to overcome all these upsetting circumstances. So these circumstances can be called as milestones for the evolution of quality aspects in the pharmaceutical. So every human being, everyone learns from our mistakes. So whatever we have done something in our past, so that should not be done in future, whether it's in personal life, whether it's in future life. Once we have done one mistake, so this is a continuous learning, and it should not be done again in the future. If we are doing it, then some problem is within us, that we keep repeating our mistakes. So the same way in the pharmaceutical field also, once we have found that this is the thing that we have find out, this is the milestone that have make a upbringing in the change of our field, so we keep it in that way. So in 1901, first children who received antitoxin for diphtheria treatment died of tetanus. Yeah. So there is diphtheria, there was treatment for diphtheria, they were given antitoxins for that. But they had this tetanus because horse serum that has been used to prepare the antitoxin was contaminated with that tetanus at that time. So nobody was checking the quality control at that time, what they are producing, what the horse serum was containing. It was contaminated with tetanus, and this leads to the dying of children. Yeah. Then syrup to calm colicky babies and tonics for adults, often called alcohol, opium, morphine, which addicted many people who use them. So some babies or some tonics, some cough tonics are available in the market. Some morphines is there, opium is there. Initially they were used as a medicines, right? But people start to get addicted towards them, because once you start to take in your body, you want to have the same, metabolism, same effect to your body, to your neurons, to the neuron level, to the circulatory system in our body, and it feels good for some time. But once you are addicted to them, it's become part of your signaling system. So because of these these things that were prevailing in the market, so 1906 Pure Food and Drug Act came out. Pure Food and Drug came out, which required selected dangerous ingredients to be labeled on all drugs. So it was in 1906 initially. First of all, somebody came out in the market and said, okay, if you are adding some dangerous product to your food, to any items, please do label them. Yeah, please do label them, and we will not like to go ahead with that. You know, I don't want to claim some names here specifically, but if you see, I have to actually name your safola oats, your masala oats that are present in the market. Just check their ingredients at the end. There are a lot of emulsifiers, lot of things are there in the background. So they are not the healthy one. You know, this 25 rupees packet, I don't know, 20 rupees. You can cook them. They seems being healthy, but they have lot of amount of salt in them. There are many products in the market, in the processed market. All foods that we are getting in the background, there are a lot of emulsifiers are being added with E116, E206. There are codes been given to them, which are very dangerous to the babies. Actually, if we are giving these products like kurkure or chips, all these things are not natural anymore. They are being produced with a lot of preservatives, and yeah, on the long run they are not good enough for us. Then in 1930, the wrong raw material, an elixir of sulfonamide, yeah, an anti-effective drug used in 1935. So one company used diethylene glycol, a poisonous solvent and chemical analog of antifreeze, in an oral elixir of sulfonamide. Okay, and before the problem was discovered, 107 people had died, and many of them were children. So in this sulfonamide, is a thing. So the company was using diethylene glycol, which is a poisonous solvent, and act as an antifreeze. Yeah, and this was added into this sulfonamide drug, and since they have given to bring it to the market, so after coming into the market, around 107 people died in 1930, and most of them were childs. Yeah, so that's how this field is dangerous of pharmaceutical. Yeah, so according to that what happened in the large scale in the market, so there's always a response. So Congress at that time, they passed the Federal Food Drug and Cosmetic Act in 1938. Believe me, if you say to bring an act, to bring a law into the field of constitution, whether it's in India, whether it's in USA, it's in USA actually. This one, what we're talking about, it's not easy to bring one law. It's take lot of rules and regulations, lot of passing through many companies from many levels. So you can see from the 1930 to 1938, it took them 8 years to bring that bill. That is your Federal Food, Drug and Cosmetic Act. Yeah. And for the first time, companies were required to prove that their products were safe before marketing them. So initially, you know, your processed meat, your processed beans, your processed vegetables, your processed drinks, your processed everything was coming up in the market without any taking any administration power or without any license. But since this law came in the US, this major act covering till today FDA oversight to cosmetics and therapeutic devices. Yeah, even the cosmetics, your lipsticks, nail polish, the ingredients that they're adding, they seems to be also poisonous at that time. Because people who were adding these lipsticks, they might feel unconscious for some time because of some deadly ingredients added to them. So that's why all these things, even for the skins, you know, these products that we're having at the moment, they are pretty safe now because of these regulations. But initially, skins used to be very allergic to these cosmetic products, and lot of allergies, lot of rashes, pimples, many things used to be very common part of it. So that's why the law came then, this Federal Food, Drug and Cosmetic Act, FDC. Then in 1941, 300 people were harmed, and even some of them were died because of using the company's sulfathiazole tablets, a sulfur drug tainted with sedative phenol barbital. So that they need this drug phenol barbital, and they were covering this drug with a sulfur drug, your SH, you know, and the tablets were called as sulfathiazole tablets. So 300 people were died in 1941. So you can see these things are upcoming in the market. It's very common, And the incident caused FDA to drastically revise manufacturing and quality control requirements, leading to what later we call as good manufacturing practices. So in the past, this was an example in 1930 with diethane glycol. Many children were died around 107. In 1901, tetanus was a reason for the death of many people. Syrups, alcohol, opium, morphine, people were getting addicted. So, according to them, some response was there from the government. In 1906, they produced this Pure Food and Drug Act, and then Federal Food, Drug and Cosmetic Act, and then GMP, Good Manufacturing Practices, came to revise the manufacturing and quality control requirements that what you are producing in the market. Yeah, so all these things what we are discussing now, even same, but in India we didn't have. Initially we had actually, our in the 40s and 30s we were governed by mainly by British Empire, and at that time most of our population was under the village area. There was development in the big cities, of course, in Delhi, Mumbai, Kolkata, all Chennai, all the big cities that are present in India. But still, the processed food at that time, the medicine, you know, the Kranti or the revolution in the pharmaceutical industry was not that high at that time. But soon, with the time that raised, it started to gain its momentum and start to do, yeah, make a revolution in our industry also. In 1960, this is one of the famous example, thalidomide, which was in Europe called as sleeping pill and to treat morning sickness that you feel vomiting and all that. So when regulatory agencies gave permission to sell this drug for the indication, they had no knowledge of its side effects, what it would be. So it's tend to be a teratogenic, that is a cancer causing agent, and it's caused deformities in the developing fetuses. So the pregnant ladies who gonna be pregnant, the fetus was getting a lot of deformities. So it's a very, you know, yeah, very serious cause, very serious problem. If somebody is taking medicine just to have to get treat from the morning sickness or to sleep, and then they were getting these serious side effects, because initially during the in that time in 1960s there was not so many of, I think, clinical trials or checking on the people was done. But as soon as they saw these side effects, it bring a lot of like drastic change in the world. Was many people, many, because once the generation, you're bringing, stopping one generation with thalidomide, you're not letting people to have next generation to be coming up. So of course this thing was a very serious cause. So response, what was the response for that? So manufacturers who were producing these medicines, they have to prove the efficacy, that how much they are efficient of the products before marketing them, and ensure stricter control over the drug testing. So drug to be tested properly, not only on the animals but also on the human beings also. So children whose mothers took thalidomide in the first trimester were born with severely deformed arms and legs. Horrible. An estimated 10,000 cases, yeah, of infant deformities in Europe were linked to the thalidomide use. So around 10,000 deformities of infants during the 1960s. This is after the World War II. Yeah. So still many people in Europe, they tend to have these deformed babies because of this medicine. Then in 1970s, in 72, Devonport in United Kingdom, incident resulted at least 5 deaths when drug product designed to be sterile became contaminated and recipient developed infections. You know, mainly the 5 deaths were there because of the contaminations and the infections that the recipients have taken it. So there was unwritten change to autoclave operation communicated orally between operators, resulted in dextrose 4 solutions that were not uniformly sterile. So there was this dextrose 4 solutions that has to be added into the medicine. So they were not using them as a sterile, actually. They were not being autoclaved properly. So yeah, to bring things to be properly clean, to make things done nicely, so it has to be go through a good process. Otherwise these circumstances came into the past. So as we have started our first lecture today, that because of the future tragedies that is happening in our past, so in that sense our quality evolutions takes place in the field of pharmaceutical field. So GMP, good manufacturing practices for drugs. So 21 CFR parts 210 211 came out, and medical devices 21 CRF 820 were made final in 1978. This law also took them 8 years to come up, and they were intended to help ensure the safety and efficacy of all the products. So it's very sad to say, even this happens in India. If some problem is taken seen that this is a very major problem that had happened, so many people were died in 70s, in 60s, in 40s, in 30s, but the law took them almost 8 years to come. Yeah, in 78 the law came to bring the differences in this GMP for drugs infection. So that's how things take some time, and during these 8 years we don't know how many people have taken that things again and they have died because of that. In 1980, poison acetaminophen capsules, yeah, they came into the limelight. So in 1982, 12 years old Mary Keller man died after taking an extra strength, yeah, Tylon acetaminophen capsules. 6 other people died after taking the same drug. So Johnson & Johnson announced nationwide recall of 31 million bottles of Tylenol. So this Tylenol acetaminophen capsules that were given, that were taken to have an extra strength in the body, but this was not good enough for them. So at 12 years old, Mary Keller man died because of that, and even 6 others people. So Johnson & Johnson, they bring out one rule that they're moving these bottles from all over the world, and the investigation revealed that criminal tamper had opened and laced some capsules with cyanide. Yeah, so some criminals were there within the company, and they have these capsules. They have added these capsules with cyanide. So once we are touched with the cyanide, there's instant death, of course. So company destroyed all 31 million bottles of the largest selling over-the-counter medicine in the country, OTC. So this, if that's the thing in the medicine field, once you have found one guilty that this is not good enough for the population, so this is tend to be removed from the all over the world, because safety is the first, then comes the profit or business. So FDA issued tamper resistance packaging regulations for all OTC human drug products and incorporated them into the GMP. So then a Food Drug and Association, they bring one new law. Then they said that tamper resistance packaging has to be there. So there should be no capsule should be open or something. There should be some way that no one can open them and incorporate them, and they brought that rule into the GMP. So all the over-the-counter medicine that are being highly used in the market, they could be used. So this bill by the Congress was passed, called as Federal Anti-Tampering Act. So no one can tamper these medicines in 1983. So this took them only 3 years, you can see. So making it a crime to tamper with packaged consumer products. If they see somebody is doing it, so they said it will be a crime and it will be punished by the law. Then in 1989, an outbreak of toxic reactions to over-the-counter of tryptophan, that's amino acids, a dietary supplement that we take, resulted in 38 deaths. 38 deaths were there, and probably thousands of less severe reactions. And even has results of manufacturing processes that increase the level of harmful byproducts, and doses that had previously been safe now cause toxicity. So clarifications of requirement of characterizing drug impurities and new requirement for evolutions of minor impurities. So there was a clarification was required that the drugs need to be pure, they should be not, and impurities should be there, and yeah, need to be taken care. So in India also at the moment we are having two kinds of medicines. One is generic and one is normal. So generic is the one which is very cheap, like way less amount than the normal medicine of the same salts. It's just the production that has been done is in different way, and that's why their cost came out to be very low. So, but the purity level we can't say about that. So that was all about history so far, that what was happening in the past, how things were developing, how things were making sense. So there was always some big tragedies that happened from 19th century, 1901, and then it went till 1970s and 80s, and we tend to find out from these big companies some big problems came from Johnson and Johnson or any other big tragedies that happened, and we try to solve them by bringing new laws, whether it's take them 8 years or 3 years, so that things could be done for the betterment of the human evolution. So trust the government, trust the constitution, trust the people who are working under them. It takes some time to bring one new law. It doesn't come in a single day. So yeah, and please do read on your tablets or your food products, your all any processed food that you're gonna have, that what are the ingredients that they're having in the backside of it. Believe me, you will see from the tomato sauce till your fruity, um, there's nothing that will give you nutrients in them. There's just all waste of this. You're getting some chemicals into your body on the long term, which has really diverse effect on the long run. It might be not having effects on our body, but on the on the next generations we might see. Okay. So what is quality? If we see, so quality is a measure of excellence or state of being free from defects, deficiencies, or significant variations. So we want that our product that is being produced, whether it's a tablet or any food product, they need to be free from any deficiencies or any defects, and they should be all of same amount, same nutrients, same ingredients, and there should be no variation between them. So that's the parameter of a quality. So quality specifies the measure of how well product or service meets the targets, that what you want to produce to the client, to the audience, whether that meets that all the specificity for our audience. And quality also focus on how the well product performs its intended functions or use. So once they are into the market, they are bringing to the things, so whether it will be functions or use. Third, quality can also be said as value for price paid. So whether the amount, the money you are paying for the product, is it worth it? Is it too much? Is it less? That's also make lot of sense. So what? Recently I stopped intaking of the Maggies and all the Saffola oats, masala oats that are presently coming in the market, because once you read the background, they don't have a good ingredients in them. So but you can cook them on yourself actually. Just bring out, you just have to buy Quaker oats and just add some veggies into them, some your Indian masalas, and you can cook by yourself. Or beyond that, whenever, and the medicines, and I try for myself whenever having a headache or stomach ache or any, sometimes tend to have in blue in the moon, like once twice a month or so. Avoid taking medicines. The more you avoid the medicines, the more it is better. But once it is unbearable, then okay. But believe me, it will help you to increase your immunity, to strengthen your immunity if you take less allopathy medicines. So further, quality, according to the regulatory authorities all over the world, have accepted that pharmaceutical products which meets the following 5 characteristics can be expected as a quality product. So which are their identity, their strength, their safety, their purity, and their efficacy. So all these factors, all these five products, all these five numbers, that is identity, strength, safety, purity, and efficacy, they believe to be an excellent and pure form of like bringing. If you're having these five things in your product of a pharmaceutical, that means your things are good. So first thing first, quality assurance. So we are taking the things more into deeper level now, one by one. So obtaining confidence that required quality of product or service is satisfactory for the intended use. So quality assurance is actually a managerial tool. So this is quality assurance is a bigger picture of your quality control actually, which brings out, as it says the statement, the confidence required the quality of your product or service is satisfactory and it's all good to go for the final use, you know. So it's basically managing all the quality, that what you're going to produce a product as a final product is all good. So according to the World Health Organization's WHO, so quality assurance definition seems to be it's a wide ranging concept covering all matters that individually or collectively influence the quality of a product. Yeah, so it's talking in a global level, at a bigger level. It's a wide ranging concept. It's a big concept covering all your matters that individually or collectively influence the quality of a product. It's the totality of the arrangement made the objectives of ensuring the pharmaceutical products are of quality required for intended use. So that's the pyramid of quality assurance. In the center, the diamond, your quality assurance is there. Then you have to define quality, measuring quality, and improving quality. So you have to check these three parameters under the quality assurance, that is defining, improving, and measuring. Defining, improving, and measuring, all these three. So what are the functions of this quality assurance in the pharmaceutical industry? Basically, it is done to ensure that raw material, because we also have to use raw material in that, it should be used in the manufacturings are approved and procured from the approved vendor. They should be all good, there should be no contamination, it should be totally pure and with no deficiency in them. And all data that are recorded as per CGMP is reviewed for accuracy and traceability. And then procedures are in the place for performing the activities, operating and calibrating the equipment. The big machines that you have for pharmaceutical production, so all these things has to be taken care, and the quality is built up in the plant, process, and product. So you have a plant, big plant in there, you have to do the process of that, then you finally produce your product. So that robust quality system is in place. Yeah, so all these things are important when you are dealing with the quality assurance in the pharmaceutical industry. Further, to prepare and improve quality policy, quality objectives, quality manual, and validation master plan, right? And periodic monitoring of the qualitative objectives. That all things that you're doing, they are on the right manner, right level. There is nothing going wrong with them. And monitors all the validation and stability activities as completed per the schedule. Make sure the things that you are dedicated with your time plan, they are being done on the time, and you're giving your product to the clients or to the market on the right schedule time. And make sure all the changes impacting the product and established systems are documented and reviewed to analyze the impact of it. So training like induction on job schedule after any changes are conducted to respective individuals on time. And also we have to be ensure that all the deviations and the market complaints that are coming up, we have to investigate them and find the root cause of these problems and prevent them, that they should not come back again. They should not, recurrence should not be done of the same. Preparation of annual product quality reports, trending of the data, determining the products and process performance, and to arrange and conduct self-inspection. Further, to review related batch manufacturing records, quality control testing data prior to release of any batch. So what is the scope of quality assurance in pharmaceutical? So we have discussed so far the functions, that what are the main functions are there in the pharmaceutical industry. We have discussed the pyramid of pharmaceutical industry, that is defined on the defining the quality, improving the quality, and measuring the quality. We have discussed the basic definition by WHO, what is the quality assurance is all about. Now the next part that we're going to discuss is the scope. What is the scope actually? So basically it's there to prevent the defects with the focus on the process, is that there should be no defects in our market, and to improve development and test processes so that defects do not arise, and establish a good quality management system and assessment of its adequacy and continuous monitoring, and prevention of quality problems through planned and systematic activities. So this was all about quality assurance. Now we take the next batch about quality control. So how quality control is approved, how it is maintained. So basically quality control is a part of the good manufacturing practices, GMP, which deals with the sampling, testing, and specification. Which deals with your sampling, testing, and specification. And it's actually not a managerial tool that we were talking about previously, quality assurance. It's basically a corrective tool. Yeah. So according to ISO 9000 defines quality control as a part of quality management focused on fulfilling quality requirements. Yeah, which basically focus on the quality requirements that are required during the quality control. It's defined that. So it's a part of GMP, actually concerning with the sampling, specification, testing, and release procedures. Ensure the necessary and relevant tests are performed, and the product is released for the use only after ascertaining its quality. So functions of quality control in pharmaceutical industry. So preparation of specifications for testing of materials and products, carrying out sampling and testing of materials or products, environmental monitoring is taken care in that, stability of studies, that what you're conducting. If there's any failures are coming, you have to investigate them. Analytical method validation, and evaluation of complaint samples. So we have to evaluate any complaints are happening or anything that are required to do. So you have to maintain that. So what are the scope of quality control in pharmaceutical? That's we have discussed: to identify the defects in the finished products, to identify defects after product is developed and before it is released into the market, find the sources of quality problems to continually meet customers' requirement, and analytical techniques used to maintain the product quality and processes. So all these things matters a lot during that time. So main difference between your quality assurance and quality control is that is a process orientated, that how the process is happening during the assurance part, whereas in the control part is a product orientated, that what kind of product is being coming up. This aims at defect prevention, that defect should not come, and this quality control is on the defect identification, that you have to find out in the quality control what kind of defects is there. In quality assurance, goal is to improve the process development so that defects don't rise again. In the QA, you have to improve the process development, that it should not come back, whereas in the QC, goal is to improve the mainly the final products by identifying the defects. And QA is a company based, whereas a QC is a laboratory based. Is in the company is done, this is in the lab is done. So quality management is there first. Then, as we discussed, this is a broader part, quality assurance. Then the GMP comes. Then the quality controls at the end. So all these things are dependent with each other, and they cannot work alone. So they all have to work one on one in each hands with each other. So first is your quality management, then comes your quality assurance, then GMP, then quality control. So QA, actually, if we define it in the last slide of this, that is, it is a sum total of organized arrangements with the objective ensuring the products will be quality required by the intended use. Yeah, whereas the GMP is a part of QA. Yeah, ensuring that products are consistently manufactured and quality appropriated to the intended use. That what you want to produce, they are being done producely and consistently with the quality taken care. And further, QC is a part of GMP further, which is dealing with the sampling specification, testing and documentations, and release procedures, which ensures that necessary and relevant tests are performed and product is released for the use of only uncertainty its quality. So these are some references related to that. You can have a look. So in the last term, the William Foster has said that quality is never an accident. It's always the result of high intention, sincere effort, intelligent directions, skillful executions. It represents wise choice of many alternatives. It's a very helpful statement, not only the field of pharmaceutical, but in our own personal life. That what kind of learning we are doing, the way we are doing, learn our things, we play with our field, or we do our any task, whether the tire is puncture of your car or motorcycle, how efficiently do you do that, how quickly you do that and without any mistakes, or cooking or running or anything that you're doing it with skillful execution, with intelligent direction, with sincere effort has to be there. You should have passions about that also, with high intention, with a lot of energy. The more you do it, the more power you give it to it, the more you will see that you will be an error free. There will be no errors at the end. There will be no deficiency. All things will be done in an accurate time and on a right level for the betterment of ourselves. Our own satisfaction will be there, and for the society also. So on that note, I will say thank you for today, for today's lecture. So this was it. So I will share these lectures with you over the, I think we are on Telegram. Yeah, I will share this on the Telegram. So thank you very much. See you then tomorrow, same time, same place. Because I had, initially didn't had my classes with you. So now I will take your classes on Saturday and Sunday also. So we will see us tomorrow also. So I missed some classes initially, so I want to overcome them by taking these classes over the weekends. Yeah, then see you tomorrow. Thank you so much. Take care. We'll share the slides soon with all of you. Bye bye.